Good afternoon. I'm Westchester County Executive George Latimer, and welcome to our Westchester Weekly Update. Today is Monday, June 24th, and I'm here today with Deputy County Executive Ken Jenkins. We're going to go over a number of different issues of some things that are pending here in Westchester County. We hope it'll be interesting. We hope it'll be informative. We'll be joined in a few minutes by our Commissioner of the Department of Community Mental Health, Michael Orth. He's got an important announcement to make, which we'll be very excited to talk about. We have Rosie Finizio from our executive team, who also has a very interesting and fun program that's being launched for the summertime this year in some of our parks. Ken's going to go over all the parks information. There's a lot of things happening the closer we get to the 4th of July. He'll also cover the upcoming voting that's at hand. We'll talk a little bit about the bad weather that we're going to go through. We've gone through a lot and more to follow. Unfortunately, there's a somber tone to our update on two separate issues as we begin today. So let me first extend our condolences to the Village of Mamaroneck community. There was an unspeakable tragedy that occurred on Thursday morning when a kindergartner and his mother were both struck by a school bus while walking to school on Thursday morning, and both perished. This happened outside Mamaroneck Avenue Elementary School on Mamaroneck Avenue near New Street. Michael Donovan Volpe, 6, was pronounced dead at the scene, and his mother, 43-year-old Molly Murphy Donovan, was taken to the hospital where later she was pronounced dead. This tragic accident has caused investigation on the accident itself and then the circumstances of traffic in and around the school. It's important to note that the county's responsibility is to reach out to the village and to the community organizations to offer mental health support through Commissioner Michael Orth. Also, our County Department of Public Safety Accidents Investigation Unit is working with the Mamaroneck Police Department to do the full investigation. Until that full investigation is done, the driver of the vehicle, any eyewitnesses, all can create their testimony. We reserve any discussion on that topic. So there's a judicial process to go through, and we want to do that properly and fairly. However, we are also in touch with the village mayor of Mamaroneck, the police chief, the DPW foreman, and the village traffic engineer and their commissions to discuss what led to the accident and what could be done to make it less likely to happen in the future. The accident itself may be determined to be for any number of different reasons, but the environment with which it happened, whether it is or isn't a significant contributing reason, we still have to look at it and determine if there are improvements that should be made as we go forth. Keep in mind that the village controls the policing. The county owns Mamaroneck Avenue. The side streets are owned by the village, and the school district is responsible for the traffic flow in and around their buildings, and there are certain structures that they've done. What happened, why it happened, how it happened, will all be pieced together in the next few days. And when we have recommendations that we can implement, we'll share those with you. But I don't want to lose sight of the fact that 2 human beings died, including a very young child, before he even came close to living a full life. And we mourn that. It is tragic. And we hope for the family members and then for the village at large, what healing can come out of such a tragedy. We'll try to make the best of what it is that we can do. We have a second tragedy, which we've discussed before. For the last number of weeks, we've highlighted the tragic case of Maria Cotto, who was a Department of Social Services employee, very dedicated employee. She was involved in the adult protection services of the county, and she was doing her job being out monitoring one of the individuals that are within our responsibility and care when she was brutally attacked in a setting in Peekskill. Just this past week, since we last gave an update, she succumbed to those injuries and has passed away. There will be a wake on Friday and a funeral to follow on Saturday at Whalen and Ball in Yonkers. But as much as her fellow employees remember her warmth and her courage, her commitment to helping people, we mourn her passage as well. She's part of our family in Westchester County government, and when we lose any member of the family, it's a very, very difficult situation. So there'll be more information about how the Mamaroneck Village community, how the county community will reach out in the loss of Maria Cotto. Unfortunately, we have a third somber moment to mention as well. We have lost a long-term former member of the Westchester County Board of Legislators. Herman Keith served 6 terms in the county legislature representing Yonkers, the prior iteration of the district that Ken represented for many, many years. He was one of the first African Americans to be elected to the Board of Legislators, I believe in 1981. He had been previously a president of the Yonkers branch of the NAACP, and he served 2 terms as the minority leader, the first person of color to hold a leadership position in the Board of Legislators, which he served at from 1992 until 1996. I had the pleasure of serving with him as a colleague and as a friend, and we mourn his passage. Herman contributed much to the Yonkers community. Ken knew him very well, so I'd like Ken to share some of his thoughts on the loss of Herman Keith.
Thanks, George. And as a person that followed Herman in so many different ways, Herman was the lead. He was the president of the NACP. Winston Ross was the regional director of the NACP when the Yonkers desegregation case was initiated. And I certainly followed two presidents after him as the president of the Yonkers NACP. And then following him on the County Board of Legislators after Andrea Stewart Cousins. So there's a great line of succession in the 16th County Legislative District, currently held by Shanae Williams, but between Herman, Keith, and then followed by Andrea Stewart Cousins, myself, Chris Johnson, and now Shanae Williams, that is a thread of individuals that have contributed mightily. Herman's contributions to the city of Yonkers and beyond were very well known. He was a person that stood up and fought for so many different things, and then became an elected official, and then utilized that voice to be able to make some changes and differences throughout Westchester County. So he will be missed, and certainly we'll have his information when we get all of that together, be able to tell you what the family's plans for memorializing Herman Keith, who is a great leader for the city of Yonkers. Thanks, George.
So from very different circumstances, the loss of Herman Keith, the loss of Molly and Michael Volpe Donovan, and the loss of Maria Cotto puts us in a very somber mood. It also reminds us that for all of the things that we do in our work life, in our family life, that our time on this planet is limited, and we don't know when that time will come to an end. It may come to end because of a terrible accident. It might come to end because of a criminal act of violence. It could come to the end after the passages of many years. But perhaps in this divisive moment where we find what we disagree on so quickly, and we exacerbate those disagreements, perhaps it's time for us to remember a common humanity. And the most common element of our humanity is our mortality. Let us go forward, do the things that we have to do, talk about the things that we'd like to accomplish, and let's see if we can do that with a greater sense of warmth, since we are all here for just a little time. Let's move to a very positive outcome, something that we're working on between St. John's Riverside Hospital and our Department of Community Mental Health. Ken will do the lead-in from there.
Thanks, George. We're going to have this afternoon from Commissioner Michael Orth, our Commissioner of Community Mental Health, to talk about the St. John's Riverside Behavioral Health Services Senior Program, and bringing up the Senior Director of Clinical Development and Education, John Slotsky, to discuss St. John's Riverside and Westchester County government's continuing collaboration on this particular program, and we're going to give them an opportunity to talk about the various treatments that we have for opioid addictions and to be able to move forward. So with that, I'm going to ask Commissioner Orth to come up, and we'll certainly ask John Slotsky to come up as well.
Thank you, appreciate it. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Westchester County Opioid Response and Overdose Prevention Initiative Committee and DCMH, I am excited that we are here today sharing one of the many important services being funded through Westchester's opiate settlement funds. Westchester has a great partnership with St. John's Riverside Hospital, and we feel strongly that our new low-threshold buprenorphine program will help to reduce symptoms of opiate addiction and ultimately save lives. More to come in a few from John. This program is one of several which, under County Executive Latimer's leadership and direction, we have funded as part of a $5 million opiate settlement allocation. Our plan includes engaging and supporting our residents through an array of services and developing a comprehensive approach from prevention, harm reduction, and treatment. We will shortly be announcing a new round of funding for our recovery, support, and services in the near future. I'd like to thank my colleagues at DCMH, Deputy Commissioner Glazer, Bill Weitz, Trevor Payne, and our entire ORI committee, and of course County Executive Latimer, Deputy County Executive Jenkins, for their commitment in this important work of saving lives and strengthening our communities. I'd like now to introduce John Slawinski, a Senior Director of Clinical Development Education, who will describe the program more in detail. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. As well known, the opioid use epidemic, fueled by the introduction of fentanyl, has created an alarming spike in opioid overdoses and fatalities. For patients who are actively addicted and using heroin, it is only a matter of time before they purchase heroin with enough fentanyl added to send them into overdose and possibly end their lives. St. John's Riverside Hospital, in collaboration with and with the support of the County of Westchester and the Westchester County Department of Mental Health, has embarked on an innovative and life-saving approach to this crisis. This approach provides early intervention for those with opioid use disorder who come into our emergency department at our main hospital. The program is called Low Threshold Buprenorphine and is supported by opioid settlement funds distributed to us by Westchester County. In the emergency room at our main hospital in Yonkers, we frequently encounter people with problems either directly or indirectly related to opioid addiction. Now, with this particular program, a patient will be assessed by trained emergency room personnel, and if diagnosed with opioid use disorder, will be offered early intervention and started on stabilizing medication right there in the emergency room. This medication, buprenorphine, will begin the physical stabilization process, which will reduce the very painful withdrawal symptoms and reduce the uncontrollable cravings, which, if not treated, will result in the patient very quickly resuming heroin use and again exposed to the dangers of fentanyl. An additional and very important component of this program includes specially trained counselors stationed in the emergency room who will guide the patient to quickly and seamlessly start in an outpatient program to continue the treatment process. In essence, patients with opioid use disorder will be administered stabilizing medication for their addictive disease in the emergency department, the same as if someone came into the emergency room with a hypertensive or high blood pressure crisis, and who will be given medications and then referred for aftercare. We'll be doing the same with folks who have addictive disease, particularly opioid addiction. Okay. Again, we are extremely grateful to have the support of the Westchester County Executive and the Westchester County Department of Community Mental Health to provide this life-saving service. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and that is certainly a great new program that comes about because of the opioid settlements. County Executive Latimer always makes sure to point out that our great friend, Attorney General Tish James, and the activities that they did as far as the opioid settlement, combined with our county law department, now working with the Department of Community Mental Health and partners like St. John's to be able to come up with these innovative programs that start to be able to, one, lessen the stigma of things that are in our mental health space, in the community mental health space, and then getting people the life-saving treatments that they need right on the spot, because we know we have a challenge with trying to find enough beds to be able to help treat anyone under any kind of substance abuse issues, whether there are beds to be able to do detoxification or to be able to step down or step up into treatment to make sure that they get the support and help they need. Fantastic program, and another great example coming from Department of Community Mental Health, partners like St. John's, as well as utilizing those opioid settlement dollars in most creative ways to help every person in Westchester be able to be successful. So back to you, George.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you very much. And of course, let me add my thanks to both St. John's and to the Department of Community Mental Health. This is, as Ken pointed out, one more example of how in county government we're doing innovative things, and we're doing things that reaches issues right where people can be assisted. It may not necessarily make the national press, but it's important, and we appreciate your leadership, both of you, all of you, on this. And there's other members of the team that are here with us today. Let me mention a little bit about the weather we're having out now. This is that time of the year when we make the transition into summer. We are now meteorologically in summertime, and it can feel like that. We've had a couple of, over the weekends, heavy downpours of rain that come for a short period of time with the sky saturated with moisture. A severe thunderstorm came through northern Westchester last night, and it caused some significant damage in the NYSEG service area up in the town of Somers and on its border with the town of North Salem. We've been in touch with NYSEG last evening and this morning, and NYSEG is still assessing the damage. Many poles in the Shenorock area have been damaged. There's also wires and trees that are down. We'll continue to work through them. NYSEG is offering dry ice and bottled water for those municipalities that are impacted where there are no electric availability connections. And of course, when you're in that area of Westchester County, Somers, North Salem, parts of Lewisboro and Yorktown, you're in a very rural, low-density situation. It's much, much harder to get the wires up in that kind of an environment. But everyone is working hard. Hopefully the news will be good as we go forward. Today is Monday, June 24th. Tomorrow is Tuesday, June 25th. And Ken will tell you what makes that day an important day.
Thanks, George. And on June 25th, we have our primary elections here in Westchester County and around the state, in New York State. Tomorrow, the hours are going to be from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. That'll be for federal, state, county, and local primary elections. That we have certain activities that are going on that you have to do differently from our early voting. We talk about that from the 15th to the 23rd till yesterday, where you were able to vote in any early voting location in the County of Westchester, one of the 25 locations that are available in Westchester, to be able to vote for the candidates of your choice if you were in a area that had a primary. So there's a county-wide Democratic primary. There's Democratic primaries in different areas, including in the congressional races. We have members of the county committee, both for the Democrats and Republican committees that are commonly called district leaders. We have some different ideas of different things happening in the Conservative Party. They have some primaries going on in that area as well. And there's a Working Families Party in Congressional District 17. So those are all tomorrow, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Make sure you have an opportunity and take your opportunity to vote if you did not vote early already. A little bit different than in the past where you were able to vote on the mail-in ballot and you could go into the election to the polling site and make that change. You cannot do that. If you voted on paper, that's the way you voted. That's the end of the story. Then you move forward with that. Again, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. at your specific voting location. If you do not know what that is, you should call the Westchester County Board of Elections, and I know that number is on the bottom of the screen, 914-995-5700 to identify where your polling location is. And again, you have to go to that specific polling location and not just anywhere else. Further down the road, we have a special election in July for the Yorktown council member for the unexpired term. That's going to be on July 23rd, 2024, and then followed by the general elections on November 5th. So once again, tomorrow from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., if you did not take advantage of early voting or mail-in voting, you have your opportunity to go to your polling site and make sure you go to your polling site to make your voice heard in those specific areas in specific primary elections. With that, I'll turn it back over to George.
Thank you very much, Ken. And for those of you who want to, you can check the Westchester County website, westchestergov.com. Sometime after 9 o'clock, the Board of Elections will post the results as they have them until they have a completion of it. They will be counting early votes and also the mail-in ballots along with the machine ballots from tomorrow. That will close at 9 o'clock, so you can go in and take a look at that. We want to highlight that, as we've talked about already a couple times, we'll be mentioning this all the way through because it's an important thing for you to know and to be involved in. The Beeline bus system is going to be free as of July 1st. Now, July 1st is just a week away from where we are today, and will be free from the 1st of July until the 2nd, inclusive of the 2nd of September, which is Labor Day Monday, September 2nd. So for the months of July and August and that little piece of September, you can ride the Beeline bus system anywhere in Westchester County for free. And the Beeline bus system also goes into the Bronx, connects with subway lines and so forth, that it's free in its entirety. That's the third straight year that we've been able to do this. We know that it is a financial benefit for those people that use the system. A lot of young people use it during the summertime. They're out of school if they want to get around from point A to point B. That will happen across the board. And the free buses also apply to paratransit buses, which served our disabled, our senior citizens. On Thursday, July 4th, and we'll mention this again next Monday, Beeline buses and paratransit will operate on a Sunday schedule, so that will be a little bit different in terms of what the available opportunities are to use the Beeline bus system. Any questions that you have, you're welcome to contact the Beeline customer service line at 813-7777. That's 813-7777, area code 914. Or you can go online, westchestergov.com/Beeline. And some of the questions that you may have may be answered in that fashion, and hopefully that will help a little bit in terms of getting to know all of the different things that are happening out there. Next up, we have patiently waiting for an opportunity to tell us about a fun program is our good friend Rosie Finizio. Rosie's been part of our executive team since we began, and she has a very innovative program of Park and Read. It taps into her past experience in early childhood education and taps into her great experience dealing with young people. So, Rosie, tell us what we don't know about Park and Read.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. As the county executive said, I'm Rosie Finizio, former preschool teacher and school administrator. I'm now the director of programs and policies for childcare and education. It's a big title. I'm happy to announce that last summer's popular Park and Read program is back. Because of the support of the county executive and the deputy county executive and his team, we are once again able to give children and their parents the opportunity in a beautiful setting to listen to quality children's literature read aloud. The county will again be partnering with the Chappaqua Children's Book Festival to present this program, and it's going to be held in 3 of our county parks. For 6 weeks during the months of July and August. Our sessions will be held at Lenoir Preserve on Tuesdays, Saxonwood Pool on Wednesday, and Kensico Dam on Thursday. All sessions will run from 11 to 11:45 and begin on July 9th. The program is free to all county residents, but children will be required to have an adult accompany them during the program. The program is geared to children from 3 to 6 years of age, but we've had babies, we've had older kids, and everyone has enjoyed. We will feature bilingual readers who will present the Spanish version of the book that is being read in English. Sometimes I'll read, sometimes there will be notable people throughout the county reading for you. The Deputy County Executive and the County Executive were kind enough to read for us last year. Registration is recommended to guarantee a place, although walk-ins are welcome if space allows. Research has shown that simply reading aloud to a child for 20 minutes a day is an absolute game changer in the life of that child. Children who are read to do better in school and life, learn coping skills, are inquisitive, and excited about exploring new opportunities. I'd again like to thank the county executive for providing Westchester kids with the chance to be exposed to well-written children's literature and all that it has to offer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rosie, and let me know when you need Ken and me to come up there and do some reading. I'm a grandfather. I need the practice so that my grandkids can get the best possible reading experience when we have that opportunity. I think we're heading now to our information about parks and what's happening in and around July 3rd and 4th. So, Ken, back to you. Take it away.
All right. Well, the very next big festival that we're having at the Kensico Dam is for Independence Day, which will be our annual Music Fest and Fireworks set for July 3rd at Kensico Dam Plaza. That spectacular fireworks illuminate the night sky during the annual Music Fest and Fireworks at the Kensico Dam Plaza in Valhalla on Wednesday, July 3rd, 2024. So round up everyone, the family, your friends, and fill up the picnic basket and settle back on the great lawn of Kensico Dam, our very own Central Park, for an exceptional night of live entertainment and spectacular fireworks that'll be there. A dynamic guest DJ kicks things off at about 5 p.m., followed by one of New York City's most exciting bands, Total Soul, at 7 p.m., and then the glittering fireworks with the historic Kensico Dam as the backdrop for those fireworks starts right around 9 p.m. Admission and parking are free, but we would suggest strongly that you either carpool or you take advantage of the freebie line bus service to get there to get up to Kensico Dam Plaza. Certainly the Metro North Station is very much in walking distance of Kensico Dam Plaza. Take advantage of that. It is an event that brings tremendous individuals to the Kensico Dam. The annual Music Fest and fireworks are presented by the Westchester County Parks, Commissioner Kathy O'Connor, and sponsored by Westchester Parks Foundation with generous support from Bruno and Campisi and Captain Lawrence Brewing. So again, once again, on July 3rd, starting right at 5 p.m. For the for the DJ that gets us going, and then 7 p.m. with Total Soul, and the fireworks starting right around 9 p.m. So this week in parks, June 27th, we're going to be back at the Hilltop Hanover Farm and Environmental Center up in Yorktown Heights. Again, that's open on Thursdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's every Thursday through Sunday from now right through the summer and right down into November for the Hilltop Hanover Farm and Environmental Stand, Family Farm Stand from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. There's a 50% discount for those individuals, those eligible items that people pay for using their SNAP benefits to get the get the farm fresh produce that's produced right at the Hilltop Hanover Farm. On Fridays, on Tuesdays and Fridays, we have our Moore Walk at the Westchester in White Plains. Certainly on the days now that we have turned into summer, so we went from those folks like me that suffer with allergies to having dog days of summer where the heat and humidity can get over 95 or 100 degrees. So if you're outside, you make sure to hydrate, but you'll have an opportunity to do it from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at the Westchester for Moore Walk, so 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Tuesday and Friday. You could go at your own pace or get motivated by joining one of the various groups of people that walk through the Moore Walk program. On Friday, the beaches are open. So starting on June 28th, right through September 2nd, the beaches are open, weather permitting, with no admittance after 6 p.m. So Glen Island and at Croton Point Park, that is from 11 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. is when the beach is open with lifeguards. There is no admittance after 6 p.m. A Westchester County residence or park pass is required. So if you don't have a Westchester County park pass, you need a valid New York State driver's license or valid New York State identification with a Westchester County address to be able to participate and be admitted for the park itself. Again, 11 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. For the beaches, 11 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. For our two beaches at Croton Point Park and then Glen Island Park in New Rochelle. So Croton Point Park in Croton and Glen Island Park in New Rochelle. The pools are now really open for real on the 28th. We had them open last week based on the directive of the county executive to make sure that our beaches and pools were open on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday last week. We had 2 of our county pools open, but all 4 of our pools will now be open. Tibbetts, Brook Park, Saxon Woods Park, Spring Ridge Park, and Wilson Woods Park will all be open daily through September 2nd, weather permitting. Once again, no admittance after 6 p.m. Parking and pool fees apply, and as always, it's Westchester residents. Our Westchester residency is required. Then we go down to Saturday, June 29th, this coming Saturday. Something else that's coming up, you might see those signs pop up around, which is for the undiscovered realm of Comic-Con. So Comic-Con is the Westchester version of that, is on Saturday, June 29th, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Also on June 30th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Check that out by going to the county center website and to be able to get tickets for that particular, again, so Undiscovered Realm Comic-Con. And Saturday, we have at Croton Point Park, at Croton on the Hudson, a glacial geology hike. So you're going to hike the Croton Point shore with the county naturalist to learn about the forces that created the lower Hudson Valley landscape. You'll be able to meet at the Pavilion 1 for ages 6 and up. It's a moderately difficult walk, so you want to wear sturdy shoes, and you want to make sure that you bring enough water to hydrate as you go along that walk for the glacial geology hike from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And again, that particular walk is free at Croton Point Park. And finally, we have Bicycle Sundays, continuing on of the 50th anniversary of Bicycle Sundays. Someone pointed out to me that in July the hours change from the 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So this Sunday, June 30th, it's 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the wonderful Bronx River Parkway as part of the wonderful Bronx River Reservation, where the portion of Parkway is closed to cars and for exclusive use of non-motorized bicycles and scooters, as well as for inline skaters, walkers, and joggers. Again, 8 to 12 p.m. in July. So the hours change in July from 10 to 2 to 8 to 12 p.m. because it's a lot hotter, and we want to make sure that everyone understands in July it's going to be 8 to 12, and then it resumes back in September through October 6th, back at 10 to 2 p.m. So that's what's going on in your nationally recognized park system, and we'll turn back over to you, George.
And Ken, we're going to assign you to do that hike. I don't think that moderately steep hike, I bet that's a lot more than moderate. I'm not going to roll the dice, but you're younger, healthier than me. You do it, bro. We want to close out on a positive note. We've had some somber elements of our update today, but we want to extend our happy 107th birthday wishes to Belle Herman Weiss. She is a beloved resident of the Washington Square neighborhood in the town of Mamaroneck, and she will celebrate her 107th birthday on June 28th. With nearly 30 years in the community, Belle's life story is a testament to dedication, service, and community involvement. She was born in 1917. That was the same year that John F. Kennedy was born, just to give you an idea of how many years. Belle's passion for nursing saw her work at numerous hospitals across New York for decades. She retired from nursing at age 70, but returned to work in an administrative role at age 86 for a Larchmont ophthalmologist office, continuing until she was 92. Belle has always been an active community member and a passionate advocate for various causes. She's known as a big joiner, never shying away from meeting new people and getting involved. During the 1960s, during the Vietnam War, Belle helped form a local chapter of Women's Strike for Peace. About 15 years ago, Belle's love for books inspired her to start a book club for children in her building. Belle Herman Weiss's life is a remarkable journey of service, dedication, and community spirit. That journey continues as she celebrates her 107th birthday and continues forward. We are a grateful county, and we thank her for her many contributions and the indelible mark that she has left on the community of Mamaroneck and on the community of Westchester County. That's a good way for us to end our report. Thank you for watching. I'm George Latimer, Westchester County Executive. If we have any other information, whether it's weather-related or so forth, we'll be back in touch with you. We're scheduled to be here again next Monday, which is Monday the 1st of July. And in the meantime, there'll be a few things happening in the next few days, and we'll report on it as appropriate. Have a great day.